the time of your life, every single night, the confetti's raining down. You put your hands to the sky, center of the crowd, you're the talk of the town. And I tell myself I don't want that, what glitters isn't gold. I tell myself I don't need it, cause I'm fine on my own. But I hate being on the outside, looking through a window. I say I don't want it, but I'm so.
Hi everyone and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. In case this is your first time watching one of my videos, hi, I'm Lesley. I'm so glad to have you here. If you know me, you'll know that usually my channel is all about luxury, handbags, shopping vlogs, all that good stuff, unboxings if I happen to purchase something. But I also enjoy filming London vlogs as I moved to London like a couple of months ago, and travel vlogs. And I think this one falls into the travel vlog category because it's not a London vlog, it's actually a vlog of like day trips out of London. So over the last couple of months, I'd say at this point, I took a couple of day trips. All of them were like easily reachable either via bus or by train. And while I did film on every single one of those trips, none of them really warrants its own video. So I figured why not group them all together and film kind of like a, I guess, like recommendation type video of day trips out of London. So this video will cover the Cotswolds. I took a guided day trip and we covered 3 villages in the Cotswolds. Then 7 Sisters and like the entire area around there. So like the White Cliffs. I think that's South Sussex. Try to say that 3 times quickly, and also Brighton. So that's like the second day trip I took. And then I also went to Cambridge and to Whitstable. Both of the last towns were not like full on like proper day trips, more like half a day. So yeah, super easy to reach from London as well via train. So before I ramble on any further, let's start with Whitstable. Then I'm going to cover the 7 Sisters and Sussex day trip. Then we're gonna head to the Cotswolds together, and at the end of the vlog I'm going to include the footage that I got in Cambridge. Going to Whitstable was actually kind of like a last minute decision, but I'm so glad I did because it's such a cute, like tiny little town, and you basically have like one high street with all these like cute little shops. The oyster shop, like the one with the pink facade, is very like Instagram famous apparently. But yeah, all these like cute tiny little shops, and also like the shore and the seaside is just beautiful. Not like a proper beach in terms of like sand, it's more like a pebble beach. But yeah, really enjoyed Whitstable. Highly suggest you check it out. It's like a 1 hour and 20-minute train ride from London. Talking about train rides, next off is the 7 Sisters and Sussex day trip. That was a guided day trip with a minibus, but first off we had to take the train from London, London Bridge Station to Brighton, and that's a 1 hour train ride. Super fast. And once in Brighton we got into a small minibus, and our first stop was Devil's Dyke, and we learned something really interesting about English sparkling wine.
They started to buy up tracts of land here in southern England, and one particular family, who's a name I'm sure most of you have heard of, called Taittinger, the Taittinger brand. The family invested over 300 million euros about 30 years ago in a site in neighbouring Kent to acquire land to grow grapes for production of champagne, and that's how seriously it's being taken. And back in 2016, a surprise entry of an English sparkling wine was submitted to the competition in France that they judge each year to find the finest champagne, and the judges are all blindfold. They do a blind tasting, and guess what? One of ours won the gold medal. Shock horror. And we have a brilliant name for it, as you probably already worked out. It's the French call theirs champagne. We could think of nothing better than English sparkling wine.
So after a short early lunch break at Middle Farm, we made our way to the Longman of Wilmington. Judging from the video, it doesn't really come across, or like even in real life, standing where we were standing, it doesn't come across how tall this figure and like carved into the hill actually is. I think our guide said something like 230-ish feet, which says nothing to me because I don't do like feet, elbows, lengths of like the tails of elephants kind of metrics. I do meters, and I did look it up, and it's apparently like around like 72 meters tall, which is quite impressive. Our next stop was Beachy Head, and while this isn't a part of the Seven Sisters per se, it's like a separate also chalk cliff. This might have been one of my favorite stops that we did. Just like look at the proportions. Right in front of this massive like chalk cliff, you have a tiny little lighthouse, and it was just beyond adorable. The views were amazing, and so this was Beachy Head, and the next two stops are the Seven Sisters, basically from two different angles. And in case you've been researching day trips out of London, in particular when it comes to chalk cliffs, you might have come across the cliffs of Dover. Apparently, I mean, I haven't been there personally, but according to our guide, the white cliffs of Dover aren't quite as white anymore. So if you're keen to check out white chalk cliffs, I'd say the Seven Sisters is the way to go. So that was the Seven Sisters and Sussex day trip. I did book the day trip via Get Your Guide, but like the original day trip company, I guess, is Brighton and Beyond. Not sponsored, they don't know who I am. I paid the full price, yada yada yada, but huge recommendation. Our guide was Paul, and he was brilliant, super knowledgeable, but not like in a preachy or like annoying way. So he did an amazing job at keeping us like entertained while providing us with like some snippets of information here and there. So huge recommendation. And he dropped us off at Brighton again, and we were able to go back to London with like prepaid tickets and everything at our leisure. So I decided to stay in Brighton for a bit, walk around there, walk along the pier, go to the like very much like Indian inspired Royal Pavilion, I think it's called, and then headed back to London by myself, and loved the entire day. And moving swiftly along to the third part of this vlog, which is the Cotswolds day trip. Another day trip that I booked via Get Your Guide, also like in a tiny bus. We did get picked up in London with the bus and went on our merry way to the first location. The Cotswolds tour featured 3 tiny little villages, which were Burton on the Water, Bibury and Burford. So when we arrived at Burton on the Water, the parking lot was already quite full, or at least like filling up. And I think we had like 1.5 hours in Burton on the Water, and by the time that we left, it was packed. I mean, I do get why, and being a tourist in the Cotswolds myself, I have no place of even getting close to complaining about all the tourists, but yeah, it was quite busy by the time that we left. I did go to both the model village, so like a tiny little village, like replicating Burton on the Water, and the auto museum. Word of caution, if you're short on time, I would suggest you just appreciate Burton on the Water, the old buildings, wander around, take pictures, like maybe let your feet dangle in the water for a bit, and yeah, maybe skip out. Definitely, unless you're super interested, definitely skip out on the Auto Museum. Next off was Bibury, and Bibury was by far the tiniest, like tiniest little village out of the 3 that we checked out. Essentially, you have like one main street and then like one road and one footpath that go in kind of like a triangle shape. And yeah, the main attraction, or like the only attraction in Bibury, is Arlington Row, and that's basically the poster child of the Cotswolds. Like, yeah, if you've seen pictures or like video footage of the Cotswolds, chances are you will have also seen Arlington Row, because yeah, it's quite famous. Very cute indeed, but yeah, essentially there's not much to see in Bibury apart from Arlington Row. So I think we only had like half an hour, maybe 45 minutes in Bibury, which was plenty because there's really not much to see. And the last village on our Cotswolds itinerary for the day was Burford. I'd say out of the 3 villages that we did check out, this one was probably my least favorite one. It kind of didn't really feel special. I mean, they did have a very large church, like especially comparatively to a tiny village. The Burford church was quite big, and apparently that's because the Cotswolds used to be very popular for wool. Hence, a lot of money from wool being generated, and a lot of people like gifted large amounts of money to the church in hopes of getting in whoever's up there's good graces, I guess. So yeah, that's why some of these churches are way bigger than they actually should be. But anyway, other than that, Burford didn't really do anything for me. But there's that. That's the Cotswolds tour. Done and dusted. Let's quickly head to some of the Cambridge footage that I got. To preface, I went with a colleague of mine. Therefore, I didn't really capture that much. And also, it was raining quite heavily for like the first half of the day, which happened to be that half of the day where we had a guided walking tour through Cambridge book. But hey ho. And there you have it. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's vlog. Hopefully I was able to give you some inspiration or help you in terms of your decision-making process of which day trip to book going out of London. If you've taken any of those day trips or any additional ones that you think I might enjoy, I do have a couple of months left in London, definitely let me know your suggestions in the comments below. And if you've been to the Cotswolds, are those 3 towns or like villages that I checked out the ones that you are supposed to check out, or are there any like Cotswold villages that I missed and that I should have checked out? For example, like instead of Burford. I mean, it was a set itinerary. I wasn't able to like make any suggestions in terms of which villages we checked out, but I mean, I can always go back. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Let's chat in the comments. If you enjoyed today's vlog, give this video a thumbs up. That would really help me out a lot, as well as any kind of interaction, like as I said, commenting, thumbs up if you haven't subscribed yet, but you feel like either travel vlogs or like London vlogs. I do have a couple of London vlogs up already, and I have a lot in the pipeline. I just need to get some editing done. Yeah, if that sounds like your thing, make sure you're subscribed. If you like luxury content, make sure you subscribe as well, because that's what I started this channel for, and that's still like the focus point of this channel. I did integrate more and more like London and travel vlogs here and there, but at the end of the day, this channel is all about luxury. But yeah, before I keep you any longer, sorry about the rambly bit at the end. I hope you enjoyed today's vlog, and I'm gonna see you in my next video. Bye.